1. What's going on, everyone? You're watching Ash on Comics. It's Storytime Live. A few minutes late. Sorry about that. Thank you all for being here. For those of you who've been waiting, I greatly appreciate that, your patience, and showing up to make this all thing happen. This would not happen without you guys, so I always want to give a shout out to you guys, because really, that you're what it's all about. Melissa Harris, she's back. We know she's not dead. Good to know you're not dead, Melissa. Missed you the past couple days. You probably had some Walker Texas Ranger marathons going on. I understand. I play second fiddle. I'm not going to complain for taking second place to Chuck Norris. That's, what are you going to do? Dragon Majesty is second. And Lord is third. That's kind of rare. Good to see you guys. Zach Richmond says previews would be fun. I agree. But I would get, if I try, I could throw up some previews, but I would get canned. What's a funny thing is trailers, right? Like trailers to movies. You can't just show them. You think that's kind of weird, isn't it? The movie studios pay good money to have their trailers shown to advertise their films. If I take their trailer and just slap it up on my YouTube channel and show it for them to like get some more eyeballs seeing it, I'll get it strike. It's like, what? Look, I understand copyright protection and all this sort of stuff, but this is an advertisement. I'm spreading the word for you. This happened to me with, I wasn't doing a preview, but I used the trailer footage for my Captain Marvel review back in the day. And I got striked. Like I literally had to just go up and throw screenshots because I got a copyright strike. It was just, what the crazy. Now, of course, I was doing kind of a negative review or whatever, but they didn't know. The algorithm doesn't know that. It just sees like, here's footage, and it's like, I don't get it. Let's see. Ed's in the house. What's going on, Ed? We need some more comic recommendations. It sounds like a different music tonight. It is. This is the same band or same artist that I've been doing, Phantomenk. I don't really know how to pronounce it. I'll type it in the chat here. Phantomenk. If you want to look him up yourself. I originally found him on Bandcamp. But I saw on Google Music. Google Play Music is what it's actually called. That's the music service that I use. And one of the cool things about it, and I've been using it for many years, even before they did the whole streaming thing, was that it allowed you to upload all your own personal music to the cloud, which was really cool because, back before the days of Spotify and all this stuff, I had all my CDs, all my music I had ripped, on my PC and stuff. So being able to just upload it to the cloud meant that I could, on my cell phone, like stream it to any other device. I'd go to a friend's house, whatever, pull up their PC, I could stream. It was a really cool service. And then, nowadays we're spoiled with all streaming services and different things, but so you could put up anything. You could put up, you don't have to put music that's even real. Like if your next door neighbor has, he just plays guitar or something, you could throw it up there. But Phantomenk, I guess, has an album, like a real album. Like I found him, like I said, I found him on Bandcamp originally. So Google Play like recognized it recently and is like, here's this album. And I was like, I don't have this. What's this? So because I subscribe to the service, I can play anything I want. So that's what that was. That was a song that I don't know. Let's see. Eric Breen is here. He says, welcome to Pillow Talk with your nocturnal narrator, Ash. No, Eric. Pillow Talk is what you and I do after the show. He says, did you read Giant Size X-Men Phantom number 1 yet? No, I didn't. Funny you should ask. I was going to talk about that. God, Giant Size X-Men. What a joke. I feel bad. Is there any one of you guys, are you guys still on the X-Men bandwagon? Am I going to insult anyone if I talk trash? about Marvel and the X-Men. I know people get really butthurt if you start talking negative. I've had people that followed me for years kind of put me on ice because I dared talked bad about their X-Men books. Hickman, he's got a certain magic that he pulls over people. I don't know what it is, but it's like, don't you dare talk trash about Jonathan Hickman. I'm like, his books are shit. They suck. So hopefully I didn't make any new enemies now. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing with Star Wars, man. Except it was backwards. When I actually tried to defend Last Jedi, people ostracized me. It's so weird how identitarianism gets in the way of how people like, I'm not going to like you because you don't like the things that I like, or vice versa. You don't dislike the things that I dislike. It's like, really? I have to think? If I don't think like you, I get kicked out of the crowd. All right. Look, I have strong opinions. I don't think Jimmy shows up anymore because I'm always trashing Bendis. And I feel bad. I don't mean that personally against him by any means. But those are my opinions about him. I don't think someone is a bad person because they enjoy something I don't like. Here's a good example too. My roommate, my buddy, tonight, and we're talking just a little bit, and somehow the topic of Michael Bay movies came up, and I was defending Michael Bay film. I was like, oh yeah, I generally I like Michael Bay films. He's like, what? I thought you were a Michael Bay hater. And I was like, Are you smoking crack, dude? I'm the one that got you into Michael Bay. But no, I was a big fan of his right from the get-go, from the first Bad Boys movie. I was like, oh, who's this guy? This guy's doing some interesting stuff. It's a popcorn flick, throwaway type film. It's funny, it's a buddy cop film. But when you go back to that era in the 90s, no one was really doing action films that way. He just has a certain cinematic style. Now, of course, it's been used so much and everything. And believe me, Michael Bay's made some shit movies. Pearl Harbor is one of my most hated movies of all time. But anyways, my point is, people shit on me for defending Michael Bay. So I know how it is. And by the way, I defend The Last Jedi, so people shit on me for that too. But I don't think people are necessarily bad unless they're just trying to be use that as being an asshole. Like, oh, I'm gonna piss ass off, well, then what makes you bad is your motivation. But just liking different stuff, who cares? Have your opinions. Shit on Last Jedi if you want. It's your opinion. You're free to have it. I just don't understand. Eric Breen says Ash likes Coldplay. I do like Coldplay. I'm gonna get shit on that too. But Coldplay is too easy. Coldplay, that's just too easy. They became the band that people who just want to be haters are like, oh, I'm gonna hate on Coldplay. I was listening to Coldplay before anyone knew who they were. When one of my coworkers brought me over a bootleg CD, he's like, "You gotta listen to this," and it was their first album, Yellow. And I was like, "What is it?" It just had a Sharpie written on it. It just said Yellow. I was like, "What the hell is this?" He's like, "You need to listen to it. It's good." I was like, "All right." And I played that. I was like, "Oh my god, who the hell are these guys? This is good stuff." I just fell in love with that CD, and I didn't know who they were. They were an underground band at that point. This was 2001, maybe 2002. And then of course they blew up years later. And when a band blows up like that, they become the target. Everyone, oh, they're super popular, so they must suck. Now I admit the last couple albums that Coldplay has done, especially the last one, I'm just like, what the hell is this? I don't. But their early work I really do like. The Rock, starring Sean Connery, who played James Bond. Yeah, The Rock is good. Michael Bay film. Oh shit! I started Melissa when I talked about X-Men. The Brotherhood of Evil woke SJW mutants of the segregationist ethos native Krakoa. Synonymous with X-Men. Ash has all the Maroon 5 CDs. No, I don't have any Maroon 5 CDs. Ash has moves like Jagger. No, I don't have moves like Jagger either. Zach says, "Oh man, I liked Pearl Harbor. It was my first PG-13 movie." Zach, I'm really happy that you're here on the show and you're listening. That's what I'm gonna say. Rusty's here, says, "Good day, all. Family crypts are more underground than Coldplay ever was." Oh, Eric, you're such a boomer, man. Eric doesn't know it, and everything is like newfangled kid stuff to Eric. No matter, it's okay. There you can like modern music, Eric. Zach Richmond says, "I remember when Paramore was good before they blew up in popularity." I don't really have an opinion of Paramore. I've never heard anything by them that appealed to me, so I never really gave them any consideration. They could be maybe good. I don't know. I never really sat down and listened to them. Doug says, "It was the line in the 40-Year-Old Virgin that opened up the dissing on Coldplay." I never saw 40-Year-Old Virgin either, so I guess, yeah, it's just Coldplay. It's just one of those things. It's like hating on Justin Bieber or what's the Nickelback. Now it's Coldplay's turn. Now it's like, we got bored of bashing Nickelback and Justin Bieber. It's like I never understood. I never liked anything by Justin Bieber, but I never understood the hatred for him. I was like, so some kid who's really talented musically, plays all these different instruments, makes a YouTube channel where he gets on and he just plays all this music, gets noticed by a big record company, gets signed for a contract. Apparently he's appealing to all the little girls, so that helps. And he becomes a big superstar. And then it's like, oh, fuck that Justin Bieber guy. I'm like, dude, if you were his age, when he struck it big, which, what was he, like 15 or something when he struck it big? He was pretty young, 14 maybe. If you were 14 years old and a big record company said, we're going to pay you millions of dollars and you're going to be a music superstar, you'd take that in a heartbeat, right? I have all sorts of respect. I mean, obviously he lived a charmed life and it kind of probably poisoned his adult development, but it's way better than these boy bands where they just go pick oh, hey, 5 good looking guys. Can you hold the tune a little bit? All right, well, we can do it. We can fix that in the post. We're going to turn you into a band, a big corporate nonsense. Like, I don't know why am I even talking about this? It's so stupid. Sorry. Unpopular opinion. Radiohead sucks too. I'm not going to... The only song I like by Radiohead is Creep. Like, that song came out and I was like, oh, it's a good song. And then everyone's like, Radiohead. And like, for years, I would be like, I thought Radiohead was supposed to be good. I'm waiting for another good song that I like. I don't want to diss on them, but I've just never heard anything that I was like, oh, but when I hear the song Creep, I really like it. Where is Ash's Beliebers? Oh my goodness. How do we get stuck on talking music? I don't actually listen to much pop music. Coldplay is one of the few. And like I said, when I first heard them, they weren't the poppy thing that they are today. I actually listen to a lot, like a wide variety of music. I'm one of those type of people. I only like a few artists or bands with any certain genre. I don't know what it is. Some people, they're just like, I like, let's say, like heavy metal. And then there's like 30 different bands that they like, like heavy metal bands. I'm the kind of person who's like, yeah, I like some heavy metal. There's like 4 bands that I like. I like some punk. There's probably like 2 bands, like I like some funk, maybe like a couple bands, like just a little bit. Like I find the best, or at least for me, my own personal, like the best representation of any given genre, and that's all I really like. Which is tough because sometimes I'm like, I really want more of this, but there's only, I don't know what it is. Melissa says, I like Nickelback, System of a Down, and Red Hot Chili Peppers. Oh, System of a Down. I used to joke. I used to rip on System of a Down in the 2000s. I was like, man, the 2000s is it's got to be the worst decade of music since like modern music, I think, to the 2000s. Such a terrible, like no one was making good music. None of the new bands. I mean, it was the decade of Limp Bizkit, you know, like, and then System of a Down started becoming popular, and I was like, oh my God, you know that a decade is bad when this band, it was all around there in the 90s, and no one liked them, because 90s was a freaking stellar decade of music. No one would give that band the time of day, and now all of a sudden they're like, oh, System of a Down, this is great. It's like, what the... Sorry, I don't like System of a Down. I used to hate Red Hot Chili Peppers until the 90s, until the album Californication came out. Fell in love with Californication, and then every album since I've liked. And Nickelback, I'm neutral on. I don't ever like go, ooh, turn that off when I hear it, but I don't ever go, oh, let's listen to more of that. It's just very run of the mill for me. I also like Weird Al and Cletus T. Judd. Now I know the first, but I don't know the latter. I never understood. My buddy is a huge Weird Al fan. Huge. And I never understood the appeal, but I think it's because I'm not a big lyric guy. I had this discussion with him too. Like, he's real big on the lyrics of a song. And I'm really big on the actual music of the song. And so Weird Al does two types of music, right? He does his polka stuff, which I'm not a big polka fan. So I'm just like, oh, okay. And then he does his like parody covers, which are funny. I really enjoy many of them, but it's essentially just a lesser version of the original song. Unless you're appealing, like the lyrics appeal to you. Unless you're just like, oh my God, I love the lyric, then I get it. But I'm more the person, like, I'll listen to a song and fall in love with it. I'll hear it like 100 times before I actually start paying attention to what the lyrics say and go, what does this song even mean? Like, I don't know. You could be singing it in a foreign language. It wouldn't matter to me. Eric says, fun fact, Under the Bridge was never number one on the pop charts. Oh, okay. Under the Bridge wasn't that great of a song. It's an okay song. Melissa Harris says, fun fact, Nickelback done the song Hero for the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 2002. I don't know if I knew that or not. Pink Floyd, Jeff Beck, Bowie, Zeppelin, Deep Purple, Jethro Tull, any classic British rock / prog folk is good. No, I'm not a Zeppelin guy. I know I'm going to get some boos. This is like, you want to talk about unpopular opinion. I'm the kind of guy that's like, oh shit, Zeppelin, turn that shit off. But I've come to discover that it really has a lot more to do with Robert Plant than the actual Led Zeppelin. If I could just turn Robert Plant's vocals off, I think I would like a lot more Led Zeppelin. But when he starts singing, I'm like, ooh. Let's see. Weird Al is about the comedy, not the music. Well, I can appreciate that, Dragon, but when I'm listening to music, I want it to be music. Like, if I want to listen to comedy, I'll put some stand-up in. So that's kind of, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not dissing Weird Al at all. Like, I think the guy's cool. I wish he would do more stuff. Like, great. He's just, I don't appreciate him as much as other people appreciate him. For his music, that is. I was number 2 behind Criss Cross's Jump for like 10 weeks. Or it was number 2. Under the Bridge was the biggest hit not to hit number 1. Yeah, that is kind of true. It was a hugely popular song. That was back in the day when MTV still played music. And And that was like on all the time. Maybe that's why I don't like it as much, is because I think I got really burned out of that song. Ed says unsubscribed. Oh, man, see, that's what happens. You don't like Led Zeppelin, the classic rock guys. They disown you. Doug says, I commend you on your fine taste in music, Ed. But on the flip side, Pink Floyd is one of my, if not my all-time favorite band. So, trade-off? Let's see. Sid or Roger? Yes, Ed. Why are you asking Ed? This is my show. What is like Ed some sort of Pink Floyd fan? Do you think he's got like a Pink Floyd avatar? I'm curious. I'm actually curious about his answer now, though. Ryoka's here. He says, arrived a little later. Well, Ed Brewer says, Sid or Dave Gilmour? Correct answer. See, Eric Breen doesn't understand. Roger Moore is the bassist. Gilmour was the replacement guitarist. Both, but I'm a Gilmour groupie. Boom. High five, fist pumps. Gilmour is why, in my opinion, why Pink Floyd is Pink Floyd. Roger Waters is a brilliant lyricist, and that actually is a huge like deficit to Pink Floyd post Roger Waters when you go listen to the two albums that didn't have Roger Waters, especially the most recent album. Well, I should say, well, no, it's not the last album, because they did that one instrumental album. So I guess the second, they did 3 albums with Roger or with Gilmour. I can't remember the newest one though, because it weird. Okay, so gosh, now I'm drawing blanks. Momentary Lapse of Reason, and then what's the album after Momentary? I'm drawing a blank. Oh my god, embarrassing. Anyways, that album, you can hear the lyrics, like this is David Gilmour's wife came on to write the lyrics to the song. I was like, oh yes. But Gilmour's just a brilliant musician, and Roger Waters was holding him back. That's my opinion. I think you go and listen to like The Wall and The Final Cut. Actually, any album. I don't know. Momentary Lapse of Reason is one of my favorite albums. Probably is my favorite album, period, of all time. Join the cause to burn ash down. Ed says, oh man, Zach, Moore was my Bond as a kid. We're talking about Bond now? Zach says, I thought Moore was the worst of the James Bonds. Now that's an interesting topic. If you thought Moore was the worst okay, well, I guess Ed, I agree with you, Ed. Moore was my Bond as a kid too, but I think it was because those were my Bonds. But in hindsight, I have to say Roger Moore probably is the weakest of the James Bonds. He did some of his movies were good movies. I really love View to a Kill. But I don't think any of Roger Moore's movies were bad, were they? But when you just look individually, don't take the movie and say, hey, how good was the movie? Just like take a single scene with him as Bond. Yeah, he's the weakest. He's kind of the comedy Bond. Zach says, I like Brosnan the best, with Connery and Craig close behind. Craig is number 1 for me. Daniel Craig. My favorite James Bond movie is Casino Royale. Like, it's not even close. That movie is phenomenal in so many ways. It's like the perfect James Bond movie. And what Craig brought to that role, he made him feel more like Ian Fleming's James Bond. I don't know, just... No, hey, no diss to Sean Connery. He did what he could do in the 60s. It was different, but yeah, that's my thing. And I do like Pierce Brosnan's, but some of the Pierce Brosnan Bond movies were kind of whack, especially the last one. Oh my god, with the invisible car. You're like, what the hell are you doing? I'd love to have seen what Pink Floyd would have been like had Sid not gone booga booga. I don't. I think David Gilmour makes Pink Floyd. David Gilmour is a rock god. What he does on a guitar, if you've ever seen Pink Floyd live, the dude is a fucking magician. Man, no disrespect to Sid. I don't think Sid ever would have been, you know, if you go back and listen to the old school Pink Floyd, I mean, they sounded more like the Beatles. It would have been a way different band. Let's see. Roger Waters would have been a horrible Bond. Oh my goodness. Oh, what are we gonna do tonight? I'm not even. I don't really have like a plan, which is kind of normal. Last night we took a request, and we did 7 to Eternity, and that was really fun. I don't know what I'm doing tonight, but let's start off with the wonderful world of Twitter. Bum 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 boom. So we'll go on my bookmarks. I've been bookmarking things as I've been going through. And this one is from Chase, friend of the channel, has his own YouTube channel with more viewers than me, called Gateway into Comics. And he posted this. Look at this 2-panel sequence from the new Giant Size X-Men, featuring Red Eye and Emotapool and Rust Spot and Mohawk Person. Yep, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the masterful Jonathan Hickman. Giant Size X-Men Phantom X. Hooray. This was interesting too. Mike S. Miller retweeted. Did you guys see what was going on in China a few days ago? Let's start off. Look at this. I don't know. I didn't look too much into it. I just saw the video footage, but this is some crazy lightning. Like, this is like something out of a freaking disaster film. It's like, holy shit. And this person, this is what happens when you start filming vertically, and then you're filming, and then you turn your film horizontal, or your camera, then you get this. So don't ever do this. Just start shooting horizontally. Isn't that nuts? You think like aliens are invading or something. Yeah, I thought that was some nutty shit. You guys probably saw it, but thought I would share it. This was another one I bookmarked because it just put a smile on my face, and I thought you guys, I love animals, so see if you guys get a kick out of this.
What I got for you. Oh my goodness, you love it. Can you take it?
Squirrel with an ice cream cone.
Just hold it. There. Okay, there you go.
The very fact that she's able to just walk up to a wild squirrel and film it like this is pretty amazing in itself. But I guess she is, made it dependent on her for the crack cocaine ice cream that she's delivering. Now we get a junkie squirrel. But this is the sort of stuff that on Twitter that I'm like sitting here wanting to pound on my keyboard and just be all pissed off at all the fucking evil that I'm seeing. And then I'll see something like this and be like, oh yeah, the world is still has happy things.
Yep, I'm doing a video.
Oh, and you guys remember when I showed the explosion over in Beirut? This is the aftermath of that explosion. Isn't that freaking bananas? They're saying it was like some sort of aluminum something or other, something that caught on fire and then blew up. I don't know, man. That bomb. I mean, that explosion seemed like it was more than just some substance catching on fire and blowing up. I don't know. That's crazy. Um, Dragon says that's crazy. What exploded? I wish I had the original footage, but if you look up and go online and just look like explosion Beirut, there's tons of footage people caught it on camera, because it was one of those things like the Twin Towers where they had a first explosion and then a secondary explosion. So you're going to see a lot of footage where people like started filming after the first explosion, and then the second one comes in and it's even bigger, and there's some crazy footage. I showed it on one of my last episodes. It was either the last one or the one before, and then I just happened to come across this photo, and I was like, oh damn. Yeah, this is pretty crazy. And then what else? And then the rest is just bullshit, Trump stuff and Pelosi, or the coronavirus, and I thought this was kind of interesting though. Biden's son, Romney's son, Pelosi's son, and Kerry's son, all on the board of directors for the energy companies in the Ukraine. These same people who are always jumping on Trump for being part of Russia collusion. It's kind of weird because Ukraine and Russia don't really get along. It's almost like these guys are in the back pockets of Russia's enemy. I don't know. So that's enough. That's enough with Twitter. I thought I would show. I didn't do a new comic book video. This way I haven't even been to the comic book store, so sucks. So I decided to show you digitally the comics that I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get Batman 96. I'm gonna get Justice League 50 against my better judgment, because who's doing this book? Simon Spurrier. Yay. We went from Scott Snyder to Robert Venditti to Simon Spurrier. It's kind of like back in the day when we were on Amazing Spider-Man and we did Todd McFarlane and then Eric Larson and then we did Bagley. I shouldn't rip on Bagley too much. He was a pretty good third stringer. There's a free comic book day of Invincible #1 for those of you who liked Invincible when I did that. Maybe go pick it up. There's also a free comic book day edition of Resistance #1. I did a review of this book. It's actually pretty good. I enjoy it. It's written by J. Michael Straczynski. Firepower #1 and #2 came out. So remember I talked about this. It's weird that they both came out, but okay. So it's starting. This is a series I'm gonna be pulling. I read that trade paperback, which, by the way, read the trade paperback. Don't just start buying these books. I feel bad because a lot of people they're not going to get the trade paperback because it was like $10 and they're just going to be whatever, but maybe they'll buy a comic book. The trade, Kirkman, I don't know. I don't know if it's the right thing to do or not, because that trade paperback is 8 issues worth of comics. So if he would have done like an 8-issue series before this, that'd have been 8 times 4. That'd have been $32 to get up to that point, which I'm usually not too. I mean, they're single issues. Just get it. Just $10. It's so worth it. There's The Tick. Who doesn't like The Tick? Undiscovered Country #7. Speaking of Scott Snyder, this is a good series, and of course Usagi Yojimbo, which unbelievably Breen hates on. Sometimes I feel like he's getting a little Joe Biden. Eric says CNN blamed Trump for the explosion. Of course. Zach Richmond says, there was a cool video I saw the other day. I think Tony Hawk posted of a girl landing a kickflip for the first time. That was a happy tweet. Oh gosh, we got to have more women in skating. It's not fair. It's very sexist that women aren't getting featured in skating. Meowcat says, I saw the bulldog. A pug or something? Twitter is cancer. Yeah, it is, but like cancer, it won't go away, so we have to deal with it. Zach Richmond, Ash, are you reading The Digital Deceased Hope at World's End? Why, no, I'm not, because I'm not a big Tom Taylor fan. Doug John says, FYI, Firepower #1 is the same as Firepower #0 free comic book day issue. Well, it's not Firepower 0. It should be Firepower #1 free comic book day issue. I don't think it's labeled as a 0. I'd have to dig it out. I got a copy of it somewhere. Zach says, Chris Samney is the artist on that series. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I did a video of this that will not spoil the book. Please watch it. Please give me some views, please. No, seriously, I think it will tell you all you need to know whether or not to get the book, and it won't spoil the whole thing for you. Eric says Usagi Ojimbo stew. I don't know why Eric's trying to troll me. I thought he liked good comics. I don't think he's ever read Usagi Ojimbo, or he has, and he's just trolling me. I don't know. So that's my comics that I will be getting eventually when I go to the comic book store. So not a very big week, really. This might be the last Justice League I buy, because they're canceling Odyssey, Justice League. I don't even think Spurrier's staying on Justice League. I think they're putting someone else on that's even worse. I was like, what? So I think 50 feels like a good number to stop at. Yeah, we'll see. Right now, I'm getting more enjoyment out of the indies. This Undiscovered Country really sold me. It's one of those ones I reviewed the first issue and saying, oh, okay. And then it just got better and better and better. And I was like, I'm going to pick this up. I really like where it's going. But that's it. Let's get into comic books. Reading stories is kind of getting a little bit late. Do you guys have a beverage? I do. I'm drinking ice cold Coca-Cola. So good. Nothing better than ice cold Coca-Cola on ice. It has to be on ice. For whatever reason, Coke is better when you cut it with ice. Josh Williamson is coming on after Spurrier. What? Josh Williamson is doing... Never mind. And I'm not canceling... Doing the Happy Justice League dance. You can't see me because I just got a screen on. But imagine a weirdo doing a weird dance. Josh Williamson is one of the best writers over at DC. Awesome. So that means Flash fans will still get to have Josh Williamson Flash. So that's cool. Dragon says, I'm a Coca-Cola man myself. I'm actually a very diverse when it comes to my soda tastes. I switch back and forth between Coke and RC as being my favorite. But I do like Pepsi. I'm not one of those people that snubs their nose at Pepsi. Especially the real sugar Pepsi. That shit is fucking bomb. It's like, there's people going, it's not that much of a difference. No, it is. It's a night and day difference. Eric Breen says they're going to be death metal tie-ins. I don't care. So are you saying that they're going to be, like, Josh Williamson is just doing a few death metal tie-in issues like he did on the original metal, and then he's not going to be the regular writer? Well, whatever the case, I will buy the Josh Williamson books, and if they pull them off, then I'll cancel. Meow Cat says high fructose corn syrup is poison. You are not wrong. Unfortunately, Coke is my vice. Ed says, RC, you'd love Shasta. I like Shasta fruit sodas. All the Shasta, like Shasta grape, Shasta orange. Those are fine. But RC, man, people don't give RC enough credit. RC is good soda. Really good cola. What are we reading tonight? Oh, yeah, we should read Batman, The Adventures Continue. We I was gonna say we need to get caught up, but I guess this is the part one of a new story. Real sugar sodas are the way to go, says Doug Johnson. I don't disagree, man. I don't. But Coca-Cola, for whatever reason, seems to be resisting. I think it probably costs more to do the real sugar. Coke does real sugar. They call it Mexican Coke because they only sell it in Mexico and you have to import it. It's really a bizarro thing. And it's kind of hard to find, and you can only buy it in the bottles, and it's a pain in the ass. And I gotta tell you, the real sugar Coke doesn't. I mean, it tastes better. I think more because it's in the bottle, but it's not like the way Pepsi is, man. Pepsi and real sugar Pepsi, it's night and day. Like Pepsi, I've very few times in my life have I ever like wrote a letter to like a corporate headquarters or anything. I wrote a letter to Pepsi when way back when, like it was probably like 10 years ago. They came out with it. I think they were calling it at the time, they called it Pepsi Throwback. And it came in like an old school, like 70s looking can and everything. And it's like Pepsi Throwback. And I was like, oh, whatever. This is kind of novel. Like tried it and it blew me away. I was like, this limited time, this should not be a limited time thing. This needs to replace your product. This is better than Pepsi. If you guys want to compete with Coke, this is what you need to do. I don't think they listen to me, but they've kept it around, at least permanent. It's not no longer temporary. Eric's heading out, so that means it's time to start reading comics. He's only here for the jibber jabber. He doesn't like comics. So good night, Eric. Thanks for hanging out. Always good to see you, even though you like to make fun of me and hurt my feelings and destroy my self-esteem. But, someone's got to do it. Zach says, oh, I love that Ty Templeton artwork. Well, good. Let's enjoy some of that, shall we? First, we got to go to the big screen. And here we go. This is Red Sun Rising Part 1 by Alan Burnett Baldini. Artist Ty Templeton. This is Batman Adventures Continue, Chapter 9, Digital Edition. Wait, who's narrating? Is this Joker? I hate when they do this. I don't know whose voice to use. Okay. It's been only 4 years, but it seems like a lifetime. Red Sun Rising Part 1. Or maybe just another life. It appears we have a visitor, straight man. Someone perched atop the Ferris wheel? I guess he likes to get around. Why he should come out in the dead of night is quite curious. Since it's so cold out there. How cold is it? Oh, straight man, you and your crackerjack timing. It's so cold, I think he's packed a little heat. Tonight I'm only doing recon on the clown, scoping out his movements and any backup he's got. Looks good. No Harley, no hyenas. Just one big goon. No problem for what I have planned. Whoa. What the hell? Bam, bam. Look, straight man. It's a poor lost child, wandering in the park after hours. Bam, bam. Bring him down. We'll have some laughs. Bam. You got it, partner. Bam, bam. Jeez. What sideshow freak? Wait, what sideshow did that freak come from? Bang, bang, bang. I hit him. Crash. I know I hit him. Beep, beep. Kaboom. Time to say goodnight, Gracie. That's my line, sir. Just get in. Not long after. It was a joker, all right. After leaving here, he was spotted on Jean Street heading for the turnpike. He wasn't the only one here. The clown had a visitor. I'd say offhand it wasn't a friendly call. Your dinner was getting cold, sir, so I've taken the liberty of bringing it down here. Have you managed to identify the prints on the gun? Sir? Not on the gun. The bullets. They belong to Jason Todd. It can't be. It's not possible. I've examined it over and over, Alfred. It's his prints. It's him. This explains our stalker, too. He knows who we are, how we'd be able to anticipate our moves. It's him. I just know it. Bruce, he's dead. You saw for yourself. Wait, who the hell's talking? I thought so. All the clues pointed to someone who could be only part of his team. Oh, figures. Who's this Jason? He was the second Robin, wasn't he? I can't do this now. I've got to get out of here. Come on, you never talk about him. I need to know what's going on. I'm just as much your partner as he was. You owe me this. Tell him, Alfred. Tell him everything. Screech! It began with the wolves, Master Tim. Wolves? A street gang, mostly young punks, but as predatory as their name. They were the scourge of the East Side for years. Like all gangs, they had their rituals, including an initiation. The rules, as set forth by their leader, a bloodthirsty psychotic named Alpha, were implicitly clear. Each new cub was to accompany the pack on a robbery wearing a red hood. If this conjures up a fairy tale images of a big bad wolves and the red-hooded victims, it should. The Red Hood was their lookout in case the police showed up. It made him the most vulnerable player in the heist, and the most visible. He would be the last to get away. If he got away. Master Bruce was deeply troubled by these events. He had been on his own since the first Robin left, and overworked, if you ask me. Even so, the time had come to hunt some wolves. It didn't take him long to locate their watering hole. It's aptly named the Den. Jeez. Though evidently some had already beaten him to the punch. It was a young man, little more than a boy really, battling at least a dozen gang members, some nearly twice his age. It was hardly a fair fight, as Alpha and his pack were beginning to understand. That's how they met. His name was Jason Todd. He was an orphan. His older brother, Danny, thought joining the wolves would bring them some money. He was the Red Hood who had died in the fall. Jason was already a boy with a lot of resentments, but now he was out for revenge, and he had an idol to model himself after. Someone he considered a kindred spirit. I can definitely relate to that. It wasn't long after that Bruce decided to bring Jason under his roof. There was an emptiness in Bruce's life since Master Dick had gone off on his own, so I wasn't entirely surprised. How did Babs take it? Miss Barbara's presence within our small circle was rare then, but she and I were of a similar mind. Despite Bruce's best intentions, we thought Jason's admittance to the Batcave was, shall we say, premature. I must admit, however, that his energy and skills were amazing. Such unfettered ferocity. He was, to my eye, the very equal of Master Dick at his age. Still, there were signs. Of course, I shared my concerns. He looks at that suit daily, Master Bruce. I fear it's become quite an obsession. Don't worry, Alfred. I have it under control. As they say, no wine before it's time. I would hope so, sir. Believe me, we've had long discussions on the matter. Jason's coming along well, but he knows he's ready only when I say he's ready. Which is why I was surprised to find the suit missing that evening. But not half as surprised as Batman would be. Next, the new Cape Crusader and the Boy Wonder. Ah! What the hell? Why did he poison you with that? Oh, back. All right. Well, those books kind of go quick. That's the only downside. Of course, it's actually half a comic. If you buy the physical comic of these, they're actually 2 chapters a piece, if you would say. I guess the digital versions is half of the comic, which is why when you look at the covers, it's like every 2 chapters has the same cover. What the hell is this anti-hero anyway? Written by Kate Carius Quinn and Demetria Lunetta, 2 people who I've never heard of, probably never written any comics in their lives. Illustrated by Macca Gill. So again, it's not easy being a hero or a villain, and it's even harder when you have to switch. Oh, God. A new graphic novel for kids. Yay. New superheroes debut. Oh, fantastic. I can't wait for them to be debuting new superheroes in these shitty, subversive kids line books where they try to turn little children and brainwash them into future Antifa members. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Tehillim is in the house. Hey, Tehillim, what's going on? It says, it must be because you didn't read America Chavez? Wait, I don't know what you're referring to on that. I don't know what the context of that statement is. Zach says, always knew Eric was a fake fan. You hear that, Eric? You're a fake fan. Just kidding. Don't leave me, Eric. Don't ever leave me. Ed says, what a great Joker voice, Ash. Ed says, but can you stick the laugh? I gotta tell you, thank you, first of all. I do try to do the Joker laugh or the Joker voice. It's harder at night. I'm doing this stream at night, and I got people upstairs sleeping. So to do I'm trying to do the Mark Hamill Joker, right? To do that really requires like you kind of got to be loud to do it right. And I have to restrain my voice, so it's very difficult. So no, I can't really do the laugh because of that. Ed says, nope, I liked it, not bad. Yeah, the laugh. I was like, I can't just no, I can't. My buddy would come downstairs and be like, "What the fuck, dude? I'm trying to sleep." Oh, Dane. Hey, Dane, what's going on, man? Glad you can make it. He says those are so fun. I agree. Definitely fun comics. Speaking of fun, Mark Millar's Chrononauts, which I needed to show. I posted this in the Discord, but I know not all of you are on the Discord right now. If you like this book and you want to get it for yourself, it's on sale for $3.59. You get the DRM free backup, so you're not renting a comic book. But before you click the buy button, what I recommend is this. Go and buy the issues. It's a 4-issue miniseries. The first issue is completely free. So whether or not you want to buy this or not, just get the first issue. Look at that gorgeous Sean Gordon Murphy art. 100% free. The art looks good even on a phone. Cost you nothing. No reason not to buy it. And then the other 3 issues are less than $1. So you get the whole thing for less than $3. Depending on how this wraps up, I'm probably going to be getting the next one. There's a sequel to this. Unfortunately, it doesn't have Sean Gordon Murphy art, so meh. But that's okay. I mean, if it's a good story, it might be fun. And again, less than the price of a single comic. And the first one's available on Unlimited. So there you go. I just wanted to make everyone aware of that. Just in case you want to like buy some books instead of just letting me pirate them for you. Please buy some books so Comixology doesn't sue my ass. No, they're not going to sue my ass. I'm showing comic books to like less than 10 people. This is chapter 3. Hopefully you've been following along thus far so that the story makes sense. This is definitely not like a 4 comic thing. This was written for the trade. This is one solid story. I've been having a blast with this book though. Sorry. I had to get a nice big swig. Dane says Eric Canete, I'm assuming I pronounced that correctly, is good too. Well, that's good. I'm pretty sure he's no Sean Gordon Murphy, however. But, you know, we'll check it out. So, I guess without further ado, let's get started with issue 3. New York, 1929. Salford, England, 1986. Look, if you don't like it, you can just leave the band, Morrissey. Oh, for those of you who are around in the 80s, that's probably more funny to you. Morrissey, that's funny. Why should I be the one to go? Because I'm the guy who wrote all the songs, dude. No offense, but I don't see this working out, and if it's only you and Johnny. He's right, mate. You can't Danny Downey's genius. He didn't just write the Beatles' best songs. He created Harry Potter and the Breaking Bad. Excuse me. I've got a telegram for Dr. Danny Riley. Can it wait? We're about to do the greatest gig of our lives, and I'm trying my best not to screw it up. It's been marked highly urgent, sir. And from another Dr. Danny Riley. Is he a relative? Gimme. Swipe. Telegram. Dear me. There isn't much time. Corbin's been killed, and I've been fatally wounded. But you can still fix this by heading to our 1929 house on October 21st at 6:01 a.m. Wait outside the southwest window and bring a really, really fast car. Best wishes, you. Morrissey, you're back in the band. What? Oh, that's so weird. Kind of funny. New York, 1929. Looking for your bathrobe, Dr. Quinn? Uh-oh, Lucky Luciano's apparently shown up. Well, 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 if it isn't the goddamn Casanova. If you're wondering where your fancy suit is, the boys and me have been having a barbecue. No! I don't know how it worked, but it doesn't anymore. Gay says this is how you got all this stuff. It must be sad seeing it go up in smoke. You have no idea what you've done here. I could say the same, asshole. Did you really think you were gonna get away with jumping my girl? Before I pull the trigger, I want you to know this is all gonna be mine. The house, the cars, the money. You took what belonged to me, so I'm taking what belonged to you. Say hello to that bitch in hell, huh? Blam! Oh my God. Bam, 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 bam. Mannix? Don't get excited, Doctor. The only reason you're still alive is we still need to find Riley. Uh-oh. Time cops have showed up. Base Command, this is Alpha Team. We've tracked him down, but he's lost his suit. It looks like they've cooked everything except the battery. Good work, Alpha Team. But you need to find Riley ASAP. Having one idiot loose in the time stream is just as bad as having two. Roger that. Crash. What the hell? Corbin, stay where you are. I got you, man. Ugh. Oh, Pantera. Nice. Oh, Sean Murphy, I love you. Sorry, dude. It's the only way. Go. Don't let him get away. Now. Miami, 1969. Huh? It's the Super Bowl, 1969. That's Joe Namath and Johnny Unitas. Would you please get in the car? Just gunning people down. Jesus. Mannix, you just killed multiple civilians. Acceptable losses, sir. You said you wanted them caught, right? London, 1895. Rome, 8203. Nice. They're in the Circus Imperium. I think that's what that's called, isn't it? Or is it just called the Circus? Forget what it. I want to know how these SUV type whatever vehicles that the time cops are driving. I want to know how it's keeping up with this Pantera. Hold her steady. I've got a clear shot. The hell you have. What? Kursk, 1943. Wow, did you see that? Look out. Ugh. Quick, shoot him. I didn't bring a gun. Dallas, 1963. Why the hell wouldn't you bring a gun? Sit tight, Mr. President. Oh, man. So he gets shot. It's Lee Harvey Oswald. Crap. China, 212 BC. Where are we now? Great Wall of China, 212 BC. Then we need to get out of here. Why? They didn't finish till 6 years later. This is such a rad shot. Look at this cool like vehicle jumping over. This like the touches in the background. You know, like a modern comic would just probably have a close up of the car driving fast, but like being pulled out like this and seeing that background, that's so cool. It helps you really get a sense of the action. They still got a dead body on the hood. The Grand Canyon, 1452. Jeez. Just the imagery, man. I'm loving this book. $65 million years BC. Talk. Ow. I don't know about you, but I've had enough of this shit. Danny, hurry. Do another jump. Say goodnight, sweetheart. Oh man, I need the Jurassic Park music from the end when the Tyrannosaurus shows up. Why is there a jet? What the hell's going on? Samarkand, 1504. Wow. This has to stop, Danny. People have been killed. We can't do any more time jumps, man. We need to get rid of that suit. Couldn't we just turn ourselves in? Are you crazy? They'd put us in jail and throw away the key. We need to go before they send another team. They're tracking us through the battery, so we need to ditch it fast. Is there anything I can do for you, sire? Yeah, give Danny's suit to Sir Sarvar and tell him to get it as far from here as possible. He needs to ride east with his 10 best men and bury it deep where nobody will find it. What about us? They saw this place when I first came back. So we grab what we can, get out of here, and start a new life in London with the loot. How do we get to London? I guess it depends. Which jet do you like best? Jesus. All right. Testing. My StreamYard's crashed, so I think I got the stream back up. But testing the audio. So it looks like we're good on audio. Sorry about that. We'll continue with the story. Doesn't look like there's any real chats. Doug says, bought 7 to Eternity Volume 1 trade at my LCS yesterday. Awesome. Ed says, The Smiths. I really like this series so far. Yeah, I liked some of the subtle references that you can tell the artist or the writer, inserted in there. Ed says, timing couldn't be better. It's all good, Ash. All right, which jet do you like best? Mannix is gone. Alpha team's wiped out. It's going to take months to get more chronosuits developed. You think I'm unaware of this? Samarkand. To Corbin. May all the dreams come true. Love, Dad. You okay? Yeah, just thinking about my dad. One of the things I wanted to do back here was help fix his drinking. I just didn't know where to start. It's hard, dude. An alcoholic needs to want to stop. I still should have tried. It's the same as when he was alive, man. You always just think you're gonna have more time. What's going on here? You're forbidden to leave the city, Dr. Quinn. Says who? Get out of our way or you'll have Savar to deal with. Actually, the guards are acting under my instructions. Oh no. I have been watching you for months before I realized it was the suit. I was wondering how to steal it before you dropped it in my lap. You son of a bitch! Oh. Respect for your king, please. Now. Show me how it works. Next, Chapter 4, the final issue. Be on episode 50 of Storytime Live with Ash. Hopefully you'll be there for the grand finale. Seriously, oh man, what a cliffhanger, says Ed. I know. This is a good book. I really like this. I'm definitely going to be picking up the second series. I guess that spoils a little bit. I guess these guys don't die. This would be such a fun movie, I think. Two dude bros. I would totally cast Owen and Luke Wilson, except like they wouldn't be brothers in the movie. Two brothers who aren't really brothers in the movie. There's two dude bros that are just like idiots. Like they're super scientists, but they're kind of idiots. I don't know. There's something about this movie, and then the special effects and the action scenes that could happen. This would be fun. It's too bad the movie industry is dead, but oh well. Maybe COVID will be over in a couple decades, and I'll still be alive and get to see it. Sorry for the unprofessional drinking on the mic, but it's an unprofessional stream. What are you going to do? Hopefully you guys had a fun time. Got to check out some comics. Like I always say, I'm looking for suggestions, whether on Twitter, on Discord, or shoot me a comment on one of my videos. It can be this video. You can come back after it's over and throw if there's some books you want me to read. The only caveat, it has to be on Comixology, and it has to be something I have access to either through Comixology Unlimited, or I already own it, or someone's going to donate it to me. I guess if it's really super cheap and you just want to talk me into buying it, I guess maybe. But That's how that goes. I had fun reading these. Part of the reason I like doing this is because I'm a big procrastinator. And so while I very much do love comics, what'll happen is sometimes I'll get behind on certain series, or I'll buy like a mini series like this Chrononauts thinking, oh, dude, I really want to read this. I love Mark Millar. I love Sean Gordon Murphy. This looks awesome. I buy it. And then I put it off. I put it off on the side. I forget about it. I have other comic books are piling up. And I'm like, I should go read that. And I'm like, I'll do it later. And then the next day comes. I'll be like, I'll do it later. And then before you know it, 6 months has passed. A year has passed. You're like, Jesus, I bought this thing. I still never read it. So part of the reason I like doing these streams, it's twofold. Number one is I like sharing comics that meant a lot to me, whether through some sort of emotional attachment or because it had to do with me getting into comics and my fandom and everything like that. And I like just kind of maybe expressing, this is what kind of tickles my funny bone when it comes to comics, and what I really like. And I like trying to express it and maybe share it and get other people to, if they have never been exposed to it, say, hey, oh, that's really cool. Like, one of the things that made me smile the most, for those of you guys who may know Marania, she's in these videos or in the chat sometimes. She's collected comics all through the years that I did in the 80s and stuff, so she knows all that time period, but she's one of those rare people that never read X-Men. Which I find really weird. I'm like, everyone read X-Men. Like, that was the book that everyone bought. Like, who bought comics in the 80s and didn't buy Uncanny? Anyways, but she didn't. I mean, I'm sure obviously there's a few people. So when I got to read some old Uncanny X-Men from the 80s, and she was like, wow, this is really good. Like, I missed out. Like, and I was like, yeah, you did. Like, you totally did. So getting to share that and see people get exposed, I just know what it's like when people expose me to things. There's some of my favorite things. Like I told you guys about the Matrix movies. My buddy, he's like, you haven't seen the Matrix? We got to see this movie. And now the Matrix is like one of my favorite, trilogies. This is one of my favorite movie series of all time, right behind Star Wars. I fucking love the Matrix. But certain people had to expose me to certain things. So I like to just, I don't want to say pay it forward. That sounds gay, but just return the favor, so to speak. Ryuk says, hey Ash, what do you think about Scott Snyder no longer going to be writing comics anymore? My understanding is it's not that he's not going to be writing comics. He's not writing capes, meaning superheroes. He's writing Undiscovered Country, and that's going on for a while. For as far as I'm aware, I haven't heard of it ending anytime soon. I know he's got a new series at DC. He's bringing back American Vampire to DC, so he'll be writing that. Seems really weird that DC's bringing back all these Vertigo titles, and they don't have Vertigo anymore. That's a topic for a different time. So, correct me if I'm wrong. If you have information that I don't, Scott's, excuse me, got the burps from the Coke. Scott Snyder's not leaving comics. He's just leaving superhero mainstream comics. Dane says, you should live read Millar's Space Bandits. That's a fair suggestion. I don't own Space Bandits. And I don't want this to be the Millar channel either. But I'm definitely open to reading more Mark Millar stuff. And I do actually have a couple other miniseries of his that I haven't read. And like I said, I might get the sequel to Chrononauts because I'm really enjoying this. This is a blast. This is just this is like a popcorn flick for comics. Dane says this is funny as this. Oh, okay. Well, cool. I'm down to check out every Mark Millar. I don't buy them in the shops. I bought Prodigy, and Prodigy was a fun one too. I bought Prodigy, and then after I didn't realize it was a miniseries, and then of course I realized, I'm like, oh, it's Mark Millar. Of course it's a miniseries. So I was like, I don't really like buying miniseries because they're just expensive. And if it's I'd rather just have a trade. Like Chrononauts, this reads as one book. So I'd rather just buy the trade for Chrononauts than buy the monthly issues. So every time Mark Millar comes out with a new book, I'm just like, I'm going to wait. Like Space Bandits came out. I was like, ooh, that sounds cool. I'm not going to buy it because I was like, I'll just wait and get it on trade. I'll buy all his stuff trade. And I don't like doing that because I think comics need floppy sales. But I've kind of committed to myself to not buying miniseries in floppies. I think I just want to buy ongoing. I want to. That's what comics are for me. It's the ongoing. If you're just gonna sell me 4 or 6 issues, then I'm just gonna get a trade. That's the way I'm going in the future. He says this, but it's really perverted. Well, Mark Millar can be really. He's got a perverted streak to him. I mean, you've seen Kick-Ass or The Englishman. It's got some perversions in there for sure. I'm not terribly against that, depending on how it's done. And nothing he's done so far that I've read has been offensive to me, though I don't really get offended very easy. The only book of his that I'm kind of like, I'm not really sure about is the American Jesus one. But that just more has to do with my personal spiritual beliefs and so forth. But I really like his writing. He's a solid writer, and I wish Sean Gordon Murphy would do more stuff. You know, I guess he does his own stuff, so we'll see. But I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. This was a lot of fun. It always is. It's always pretty fun. Sometimes they're more fun than other times. But you guys make it for me. Dane says, "See, I like a bite-sized candy bar too." Magic Order was the first book by him that I enjoyed a lot, says Ryuk. He's got so much work. Let's actually see real quick while we're... Let's go back to the thumbnails. Where is it? Mark Millar. You'd be surprised how much stuff Mark's done that you either haven't read or just didn't know it existed. Okay, so we know about Chrononauts. We know about American Jesus. He's got actually 2 American Jesus stories, 2 Chrononaut stories. He's got Empress with Stuart Eminem. I've never read this. You've got the original Hit Girl miniseries, which was part of the Kick-Ass stuff. Then you've got 3 Kick-Ass miniseries before he did the new Kick-Ass with the girl, which didn't seem to interest me. Those are all great. I've never read The Kingsman. Love the movies, of course. Jupiter's Legacy. Then he's also got Jupiter's Circle. And both of them have 2 series. 1985, which is a Marvel tale. That's something I've been very interested in. Magic Order. MPH, haven't read. Nemesis. Nemesis is cool, man. Nemesis is cool. This Steve McNiven art. This is about this one's about superheroes, and it's just like a dark take on superheroes and the villain. It just this might be a fun one to read. And then he did Prodigy as a recent one. And I'm trying to just cover the stuff that's not even his Marvel stuff. Reborn with Greg Capullo art. Sharky is one of the new ones. Let's see. Space Bandits, Starlight, Superior. He did Red Sun, which was, of course, the DC Elseworlds book. A lot of the Ultimate stuff for Marvel. Wanted. This one is one of the ones that got turned into a movie. The Wanted comic is freaking great. I love Mark Millar. Anyways, that's all his stuff. He's got a lot of things out there. And he's just making more. The guy's a machine. He just churns out idea after idea. So Dane says Magic Order is amazing. All right, well I gotta try that one out. I definitely want to. It's one of those ones that came out on the comic stand. I was like, oh, Mark Millar, I want to read this. But the problem with miniseries is, like, I have a budget every month. You know how many comics I can get. And when it's a monthly comic and it's just ongoing, I can just add it to my pull list, and my monthly pull bill, if you will, like, just stays consistent. But with miniseries, they're constantly coming and going, and then I found myself just overstocking, like, just piling up my pull list with miniseries, because I'd be like, oh, okay, this one's only got 3 more issues, so I'll stick it out. Then another miniseries would come out, and it's like, oh, I can get this because it's only 6 issues long, so I could, like, squeeze it in, and I keep doing that. Next thing I know, I'm buying twice as many comics as I really should be, or wanting to afford. And I was like, I got to stop doing this. It's, especially a 6-issue miniseries, that's going to cost you like $25, and you can get it in trade for like 10 to 15. And I just, like I said, if it's something like what we're just reading here, this 4-issue miniseries I'd rather just have one book of that, and I'd rather be able to just, like, hand it to my buddy and be like, yo, read this, you'll love it. Because floppies, I love collecting floppies. That's why I like the long runs. I love my Chris Claremont X-Men run. It's like hundreds of issues. But I don't really pull them out anymore and read them. They're meant to just sort of like be saved away after you read them. Whereas trades, you can pick them up off the shelf, flip through them anytime you want. You don't worry about really them damaging them too much. Or me, I just read them digitally. But yeah, I definitely look forward to checking out Magic Order. Unfortunately, it's not on Unlimited yet, and I'll have to wait I'm just going to wait for a deal to come before I think about buying it. But Melissa says, bye, Ash. Bye to you, Melissa. It was good seeing you. I'm happy that you're all well, because, like I said, we missed you in the past 2 streams. The rest of you as well, thank you for joining me and making this chat what it is. I will look forward to seeing you Sunday night with the final issue of, what is it, Chrononauts? 50th episode, spectacular.